So I really do hope you've been saving up your resources, because the characters are coming really thick and fast, and Marvel Strike Force almost so fast me to actually keep up with all the envoy videos I'm having to do at the moment. Now the character we'll look at for this specific video will be one that's got an Asgardian trait, so hopefully in time we'll see that trait expand and we'll see Thor become a bit more useful. But the character we'll look at, it will of course be Hela. So we'll have a quick look at our kit. We've got the full details here, all the damage numbers and so on, and she's actually got a mechanic in regards to summons, so we can actually look at the skills for the summons. We've got them as well. So without further ado, let's jump in. I'll have gameplay playing in the background here so you can see our animations, but let's jump in and check out our kit here. So you can see here then there's actually a fair amount going on with our kit, almost so much that I struggled to get it all on one screen. So start off anyway with the traits. You've got Villain, Cosmic, Mystic, Controller, and then you've got Asgard as well. The Asgard one hopefully will be pretty important in time. The Cosmic one for raids, I'm wondering how she would do sitting next to Thanos with the extra energy there, something I'll need to look into a bit more. The first skill we look at is the basic called Black Blade. So attack primary target for 300% damage, and you flip one death proof on target, and that's something we'll see that comes back in our kit later on, and I'll actually talk why I think we're maybe getting a character that can manipulate death proof. But the next part of our basic here, you also attack the most injured enemy for 100% piercing, ignoring taunt. So that really could be strong there, and actually when I think about it, that's something that could tie into the suspicion I have with the way our kit has been built, but I will talk about it in a moment. The special is Command Undead, so 3 turns to charge and comes fully charged. With this you attack primary target for 350% damage, and you apply Disrupted for 2 turns, and you gain an assist from an Undead Asgardian. And in the game files, the Undead Asgardian that I'll show off later on, he's actually called Greg, so forever known he's going to be called Greg then. The ultimate is Death Knives. This one here is 5 turns to charge and comes fully charged, so this is straight out of the Thor Ragnarok movie. With this you clear 3 death proof from all enemies. You gain 5000% extra focus for this action, so it will be effective. You attack all enemies for 350% damage, spread 4 negative effects from the primary target to all secondary targets. This will not spread stun, that would be a bit OP if it did, and with this as well you apply 2 regeneration to all non-summoned Asgardian allies, so essentially Asgardian allies. You then have the passive, which is Goddess of Death. So on this one, on spawn you summon an undead Asgardian, so I really like that, because yes, we've got summons in the game, but at least they're trying to do something different in regards to how the summons work, and the next line is really pretty nice as well. So on an undead Asgardian's death, you just summon another one straight back in again, so as long as Hela's up, you always have a minion up at the same time, so that's pretty nice to be honest. That's a nice little change on the, or a nice little spin even on the usual setup we have for summons. Now also with our passive, on turn you heal self for 5% of max health plus 5% of max health per non-summoned Asgardian allies. At the moment that will just be Thor and Loki, so you could be looking at 15% max health. When we get a full team you could be looking at 25% max health on every turn. Also, she gains 15% max health and gains 15% max health per non-summoned Asgardian ally. So at the moment, that'll be 30% plus the 15, so it's 45% she'll get in time. Let's see off the top of my head, will that actually be 75% additional health she'll get with a full Asgardian team? Pretty insane. Now she's got on war defense that I hate to see, unfortunately. It's not too powerful though, unlike Coulson, and it feels his only real use will be war defense. It looks like he will be able to use Hela in different modes, but on war defense, non-summoned Asgardian allies death, you summon an undead Asgardian. So again, I really like that idea. You gain 25% damage, and Asgardian allies gain 25% damage as well. So it looks like we'll be putting Thor and Loki into war defense, but they're not characters that you would really use much in war offense anyway, so that's not really an issue there. Now, in regards to our kit, before we look at the summon, I mentioned the fact about the flipping the death proof on the basic. You've then got the clearing the death proof as well, and you've got the spreading of the negative effects and so on. It seems to me that she's set up to counter the team that a lot of people were using to clear the Fear the Darkness modes. They were going in with Minerva, and Groot especially was a big one. The death proof in Groot would help keep Minerva up. Now with this, the death proofs will get removed when Groot puts them up, and then you're also going to be targeting the most injured enemy. So if that's the likes of Minerva, she's going to be in trouble, and you could also apply the disrupted to Minerva as well. So it looks like to me, just off the top of my head here, that potentially she's a character set up to counter the team that was used to really dominate the Fear and Darkness. So you could see a lot of Helas in that particular mode when it does release. That's what I think anyway. Let me know in the comments below if you think I'm onto something in regards to that. And let's now have a further look at Greg here. So we do have details on his basic, his special and his passive. Here's the actual character model for him here. He does look pretty nice. You can see tag wise it's villain, cosmic, mystic, brawler, minion, and then Asgardian as well there. So let's actually now check out his abilities. So we'll start off here with the basic. This is called Heavy Slash. So when he uses this, you attack primary target for 260% piercing, and you apply heal block as well. We've then got the special, Dark Sacrifice. So 3 turns to charge, comes with 1 charge, so that's turn number 2 you'll be waiting before you can actually use that. With this one here, you attack primary target for 400% piercing, apply 2 bleed for 2 turns, which is quite powerful for a summon, and the attack cannot miss, although it can be dodged. And with this as well, you attack self for 2000% piercing damage. You'll use this and you'll essentially kill yourself, but then with Hela's passive you'll then just come back again. If we look at the passive on Greg here, it's called Undeath. With this, on death you heal most injured non-summoned Asgardian ally for 180% of this character's max health. And I'm not sure what his max health actually is, we didn't get that in the envoy information, so I'm not sure how strong the heal will be, but it's nice to see a heal coming from a summon when it's defeated, especially when the summon's just going to spawn back again as long as Hela's in the fight. And as I mentioned earlier on, it is a really interesting mechanic. So it does look like an interesting character, not one that again is ridiculously broken or anything like that. So very happy to see that the power creep's not shooting through the roof with the new character releases we've had so far. I do like what they're doing with the summons. It's a little twist on the usual setup we have for them, and I do think they're definitely setting it up for some kind of counter to the likes of Groot and Minerva when it comes to the next Fear the Darkness, because they have to do something for that. They can't nerf Minerva, not at this point. Too many people have invested in her. But that is Hela anyway, so let me know in the comments below if you like her kit. Let me know if you think it will make much difference to Fords. We're going to pull them up a little bit, getting that extra survivability. And really thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you all again soon.